I found that the more conscious I become, the less emotional I am, where I've experienced life conscious enough in a different dimension than I used to exist in, that I recognize that whatever is meant for me will be mine. And I release the attachment of any sort of projection or fantasy onto a situation or a person. And I think for me, at least, there were multiple different ego deaths that I went through throughout this process. And I think that life puts you in situations where you're able to get triggered with attachments that are still holding you back so you can release them in order to navigate life in full freedom. And when you're fully free 24/7, you're naturally just existing in a free state. You don't have to meditate to get there. You are playing life and you're basically playing life as a higher dimensional being in form. And you start to believe it's real, because there's definitely this psychological hurdle that you have to get through when you reach a higher state consciously, but your body hasn't caught up yet. And so you go in and out. And for all of those people who have reached a state of freedom in their mind, but they're still consuming things of this lower realm from a consumption standpoint, you're basically creating inner turmoil in your mind, whether you realize it or not, and you don't fully recognize you're probably doing it until you fast or go back on like an all fruit diet, and then you're like, oh wait, this is what it's like to actually clear the mind. So I just wanted to make note of that, because there's definitely a transitional period where you're like, I don't know how I'm going to continue to operate this way in this world. Like, I'm in a different dimension, and it's so hard to explain to people. But there's always a path. God always has a plan for us. And I think eventually it's getting the ego to really grasp that God is always there for us, and we're never alone, and we're always held in love with God, and everything's going to be okay.